presents Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast with your host, Bob Katie and Jay Schmidt.
Welcome. It's Wednesday, and we got your pro football news.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Jay, you had a good weekend. Steelers won.
Yes. Yeah, they crushed
Yes.
San Francisco.
Bob, not so much. Bob, cherry on top of bad weekend was my team getting crushed.
Yeah, well, I mean, they made it a game at the end, but
yeah, that's about the only thing I could take away from that.
Yeah.
They were way too hyped up.
Yeah.
I knew I had that feeling going in. I'm like, I feel like it. And then like ESPN Sports Center is going to be live from Buffalo. I'm like, oh, we're going to go down hard. I could feel it. It was like too much.
yeah.
You know, I mean, all the penalties, their safety, Aaron Williams, before he got carted off in an ambulance.
Yeah.
They literally were holding him on the sidelines because he was like, it was like Mr. T in the second fight on Rocky 3, just screaming and like people holding him back. He was uncontrollable.
Huh.
And the whole, I was like, this is just, we're setting ourselves up to fail, you know?
Huh.
And it's the Patriots, of course, which makes it even more difficult, you know? Hey, at least we got ripped by the world champions.
Yeah.
I guess you could take that little nugget. And they did fight back. I mean, Taylor, the offense came fighting back, and I just don't know. They took the wrong thing with the defense.
Right.
Rex, we're playing coverage. Really? We're playing coverage against Brady.
Yeah.
Anybody learn that doesn't work? You have to attack. The blueprint is what the Giants did in 2 Super Bowls. You have to get to Brady.
Yeah.
You can't sit and wait and let him pick you apart.
Yeah.
But Jay's Steelers crushed.
Yeah.
We're from the town with that great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
A little polka.
Friends are all on the beat. Go out and get them Steelers. Bradshaw and Rocky and Frank.
All right, they don't have one with Roethlisberger and stuff, but there, the Steelers win. Jay gets his song.
Thank you. Yeah, they look good. Actually, defensively, they look pretty good too. Overall, I was happy.
Yeah, your offense is just grinding.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you still don't have all your components, and you're still flinging
we
shit.
Get Bell back this week, and that's going to be a big change. Well, I mean, D'Angelo Williams played pretty good, I got to say. So
yeah, his only problem has ever been he doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
in a season.
I think he'll be good. Good plug in. So
yeah, 1-2 punch.
Yep. So
and Roethlisberger and Brown off the hook.
Yeah.
And when you get Bryant back,
yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's weird.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch offense. You're usually not used to that.
No, I know.
When the offense goes on the field all these years, you've been like, oh my God, let's hope they just score enough points to win. You know what I mean? The defense has always been the ones you want on the field. It's kind of flip flopped.
Yep.
You know, it looks like the defense. It looks like it's going to be coming along.
They'll be okay.
Yeah, they're going to be getting better as they're gelling and learning the system.
They're young. Well, they played
more
like
and
they
more.
played Sunday. That'll be that'll be good. They played really well. I was impressed.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Shut Kaepernick down, didn't let him run all over the field, and that young running back there, I forget his name.
Carlos Hyde.
They kind of shut him down too.
Yeah, they showed the 49ers lack of talent there.
Yep.
I mean, just overall in general, their lack of talent. So I don't think 49ers aren't a dumpster fire, but they have a lack of talent. They're next year they could be right back up there because they look like they have some structure and some good things going. They just don't have the all-out overall talent to do it.
Right.
I guess Thursday night we'll start with Broncos and Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think we both picked the Chiefs, didn't we?
I did. I picked them. That's what I was just looking over. Boy, that was kind of a surprise for me, for them to play at home. But I guess looking at the stats, Manning is 14-1 versus the Chiefs. I didn't realize that. So, and that's Denver's won 7 straight versus AFC West opponents. So,
I think everybody jumping on this conclusion that Peyton is done is wrong. He's never been in another offense before, professionally. I mean, I think it's just a matter of getting everybody on offense getting on the same page. And as we know, offense always lags behind defense in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So as long as they have that defense that the Broncos have, that should sustain them until the offense gets on. I don't think Peyton is done physically, but I do think he, unless he doesn't just mentally want to pick up this offense, that might be a whole different story.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird because he did look kind of like, I hate this offense here. Throw the ball.
Yeah.
But then again, he showed, coming out in the second, all through the second half, you can't count him down because
no, I was just surprised the way he was getting hit there. I thought Kansas City's defense, especially at home, but that was kind of a surprise to me. So.
Maybe that's why he's got that look on his face. It's not this offense. It's like, get rid of here's the ball. I don't have it. Don't hit me. Yeah, that could be it. Very much.
I don't know, but that was a surprise.
Yeah, Chiefs just. I think the Chiefs just. I think the Chiefs are in the same boat the Bills are a little bit. They're just. They need a little bit more seasoning in prime at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think once they get themselves under control and get a little bit more poised in bigger games, I think they both have the talent to do so. Mm-hmm. They just need to get it done. I mean, yeah, and I think the Broncos come along. I think that's going to be your battle for that division for sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I think so.
The Chiefs are coming out. We're coming out screaming out the gates, and I think the Broncos are just slowly getting better. Texans and the Panthers. We both picked the Panthers on that one. But how many wide receivers can the Panthers lose?
Yeah,
they lost Cotchery.
Yeah, they lost Cotchery now. Old man Cotchery.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be making phone calls on street players. You know what I mean? How long can that team go with Superman supposedly at quarterback? How much can he do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
And the Texans, I don't understand them. They have talent, and Mallett didn't play bad, but they just can't seem.
Mallett played decent.
It's like they can't catch a break. So I just have a big on my sheet. I just put question mark because I have no idea with them. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm completely lost. And the terrible thing for them is, look at the Colts. This is their year. Take control of the division for a season.
Yeah,
win that division. And they can't get out of their way. The Colts can't get out of their way.
Yeah,
the Titans are a question mark. The Jags are tied for first place in the AFC South.
I know with that win.
Oh. That's amazing.
Yep.
Patriots Bills we discussed. Patriots looks like the world champs, and the Bills need to, get their shit together and not be. You know what? I liked that. I liked that Taylor had some. The whole thing is going to be next week in Miami for Buffalo. If they bounce back and play like I felt like it was okay. We got this over with. Now let's let them settle in and get to work and through the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. No other game will be as hyped until the next Patriots game for them.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's okay. That's over with. Get done. I like that McCoy. I like that the offense showed up a little bit more, showed some explosion. McCoy showed up and showed what he's worth. Mm-hmm. Sammy Watkins didn't get a catch the first week. He exploded all over the place.
Yep.
I felt like a lot of good things. The Bills' offensive line, I'm still, I know, like always, offensive lines take a little bit longer, but they need to. Everybody was saying, "Oh, your quarterback sucks." No, he doesn't. He's just running scared. He's running for his life to try to make a play because the offensive line is just porous.
Yeah.
So they need to do that. But I personally think they're going to bounce back next week. I don't think Rex is going to have 2 weeks like that. Too much talent on this team to have that happen.
Yeah.
Too much talent. Chargers 19, Bengals 24. The Bengals are the Bengals in regular season. They're good.
Yeah.
They can win a division. After that, then that's we all know that history. They fall on their face in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chargers, I don't know what to think of them. I do know what to think about them. They're not great, and by no means are they bad. They're going to battle every single game. That was a close game.
That was close.
24-19.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think number one, if Rivers goes down, it's over.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
He's their offense.
Yeah, he is.
He's their offense, and I think they're just going to be one of those battling, really annoying teams that nobody wants to play because they're like, oh, it's not an easy rollover type thing.
Yeah.
They're not going to go quietly, but I think in the process of that they're going to lose their share of games. So I think they're an 8-8 team.
Mm-hmm.
They need to acquire some talent. Titans, Browns. I don't know what to think about either one of these teams.
Yeah, I don't know that Manziel, whatever his name is, Manziel played well, and they got that young wide receiver there in Cleveland. That was surprising. They put up some points this week. They look good. They look decent. They look decent. I mean, not that Tennessee's any great team, but
we didn't really know they played the Bucs last week, so we really didn't know.
Yeah.
It's the first 3 or 4 games we kind of learn who's
so.
what and everything. Yeah, the only thing with the Browns is can Manziel stay consistent?
Yeah.
Can he have 2 games of this?
Right.
And I think that's the way. Yeah, Cleveland goes as their quarterback goes.
Yep.
Titans, again, they can't rely on the rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1 was beautiful, but
yeah,
I know the Bucs in 2000 had that great defense. To me, that's the only Tampa 2 defense that I ever thought was any good, and that just had such talent. Otherwise, I never liked the Tampa 2 defense. It just always seemed to give up a lot of points, and that's like Lovie Smith. He's came from that whole thing of Tampa 2 and all that and everything, and the Tampa 2, except for that Buccaneers defense in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't know. They didn't look. I never cared for that stuff, although I'm talking about the wrong team.
Yeah, so I was going to say, you're talking about...
I was talking about the Bucs.
Tennessee.
No, but what I was saying was the Tennessee going against the Bucs first week.
Yeah.
They played against that soft cover 2, Tampa 2 stuff.
Right.
And Pettin, who was with the Bills and is a Rex Ryan guy, they saw a real defense last week with the Browns. That's because that's the strong point of their whole team.
Yep.
Is the defense. That's where I was going with that.
Well,
Reel that back in.
Why don't we go back right into Tampa Bay, New Orleans next then?
Okay. So I got that.
Since you're talking
I got
about
that
the Bucs.
somewhere. The Bucs, yeah.
They pulled off a win there. New Orleans is
Saints are a dumpster fire.
They are looking bad.
Yeah. Breeze might not play for a couple weeks.
Yeah, they said he's got a rotator cuff. He's going to miss a few games from.
Oh no! Today, just before we went on, they said they might not.
Oh
He might. There's no tear. I just saw the update right before we went on. There's no tear, and he just going to need to rehab it. So they're not going to rule him out for this week even. So it again, it might the week to week. He's week to week, aren't we all?
Yeah. Yes.
And the Bucs, the Saints' defense is just terrible. So again, the Bucs are kind of hard to tell what they're going to be either. I need more games from the Bucs to find out. Find out what in their level of competition.
Yep.
Where do we want to go? Falcons, Giants.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, the Giants.
Oh, choked.
I think that's because they just don't have the talent to sustain it. The whole
collapse
thing
right there at the end, and it was.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be the year that cost Coughlin his job.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's his fault. I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know how he is attached to the front office, meaning who makes the real personnel decisions. Sometimes it's just the GM, sometimes it's coach and GM,
right?
Sometimes it's the coach. So I don't know if he has a big hand in that. If he doesn't, it's not. If he doesn't, he's just coaching. Then it's it's going to be sad that he loses his job because they're not giving him enough talent.
Yeah.
How do you go into a season with not a good with this offensive line and no running backs and expect Eli to cross or Osborne? I mean, that's just, and their defense is a shell of it. Well, Mr. Three Finger Louie there that's not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit. Your star defensive guy blows part of his hand off. That's a little luck. But yeah, and the Falcons. I think the Falcons look really good. I just feel like maybe they might not be that deep. Like they're an injury away of being mediocre.
Yeah. What's it? Julio Jones there, and
he's off the chain.
And Matt Ryan. There.
He's the best receiver in football right now, probably with Brown a hair second or so.
Yeah.
They're like 1-1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Those two are off the chain right now.
Yeah.
Julio. Yeah, but then you wonder if Julio Jones gets injured, which he seems to do every year.
Mm-hmm.
What happens then?
Yeah.
Their defense is a lot better, but they seem to be barely squeaking by the Eagles and the Giants. That's not a litmus test, if any.
Yeah.
One of my huge disappointing ones is the Rams and the Redskins.
Yeah.
10-20.
Yeah. What the hell happened there?
The Rams.
I know. That was.
You beat the NFC champs. And you can't go beat the Redskins.
Well, and that rookie ran all over him from Washington there, Jones.
Yeah, and the Rams supposed to have one of the top 5 defenses.
Yeah, so that's they get Le'Veon Bell this week. So
we'll
see.
They're a question mark in my book. Let me tell you,
they're
a huge question mark now.
So.
You can't go on the road and lay a bagel like that when you've already got a leg up in the division.
Right.
You got to beat you got to beat Washington. You got to. Redskins, I don't know. Just because they played a good game and beat the Rams, I'm not taking them off my dumpster fire list. I think they have more internal issues than just lack of talent. I think they've got a whole GM, head coach debacle that they need to just sell the team and start over again. Cardinals, Bears. Cutler looks like he's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they say he's going to miss at least a couple of weeks. Yep.
So that's not going to be good.
Although
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, you never know. Arizona looks good.
Arizona, as long as Carson stays upright, they're going to be good.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to be like a top notch, but again, that's pretty scary when you got a quarterback who's that old and that fragile that he's your lifeline to your team. That's kind of scary. The Bears are just again kind of they're in. I wouldn't call them. They're not on my dumpster fire list, but they're in like a free fall of just
they're heading down.
Headed fast.
Yep.
Lions 16, Vikings 26. A straight dose of Adrian Peterson gets you a win.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty easy.
They're riding him pretty well.
Yeah, and they should.
Yep.
They should ride him all the way. The Lions just look bad.
Yeah.
Their offense.
They're saying Stafford might be out next game or next week too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh, that's right. He got dinged up a little bit, didn't he?
Up. They said he just generally got.
Oh, then they're going to be a disaster. Yeah, this is going to be a disastrous season for the Lions. Losing, I thought maybe their defense would survive losing Ndamukong Suh, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
what is it with them with never having defensive backs in Detroit? They never seem to get that right.
Yeah,
they draft linebackers. They draft these duds for defensive backs and safeties. Terrible, terrible. We did Bucks Saints. We did 49ers Steelers. Get some of that. 49ers offense looking, or Steelers offense looking outrageous.
Yep. Miami Jacksonville.
Oh Jesus. Miami. Oh.
Blake Bortles went off on them.
If they don't make the playoffs, and if they miss it by a game or they're close, it's going to go right back. I got a feeling this is going to be the game that creeps up and gets them. Either they're going to go in complete free fall right now,
Yep.
or even if they do straighten it up, they're going to look back and go, we let that. You can't. Listen, you can play the Bills, you can play the Patriots, you can play the Jets, you can play the Steelers or somebody of that caliber and be like, we let that one get away. But you can't play the Jacksonville Jaguars. And supposed to be, people have picked them for their Super Bowl team, Dolphins.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't get that one slip by you.
On the other side, I think Jacksonville's on the upswing. They're one of my kind of sleeper teams this year. So
they were.
Hopefully.
I was thinking that too, but I think I need more games from them.
We'll see.
Opening day, they looked like the same old Jags.
Yep.
So I guess this game are the Dolphins that bad, or are the Jaguars coming up?
Yeah.
And I think you need a little bit more taste of what they got to see. Same with the next game, Ravers, the Ravers and Raidens, the Ravens and the Raiders.
Yep.
I think exactly what we said last week about the Ravens. They're old and slow.
Yeah, that was a disappointment to me, actually, but a happy disappointment.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm glad they lost, but
you were like,
I did pick them to win. So.
Damn, I picked them, but yet you were like, whoo.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In your division, everything's looking up.
Yeah.
Because if the Ravens go down, the Browns aren't going to be aren't going to catch up this year.
Browns are just pesky. That's the thing about them.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter if you get a wild card, because what the Bengals are going to do in the postseason.
Yeah. Yep.
They're going to shit the bed.
Yep.
So Steelers are looking in real good position so far.
Let's see, long way to go.
Yeah, it is. It's a marathon. Let me tell you. That's what I said to myself about the Bills Patriots. They won the battle, but it's a long. The war is a long 16-game war, and penalties happen. Yeah, penalties happen against the Bills. Oh my God, I was so sick of penalties.
Yeah.
That was the longest game ever.
Yeah. The referees are just horrible. I haven't seen any. The calls they're making are just.
I was gonna say it's a long. Yeah, the season's a long war, and they won the battle, but then injuries haven't begun. Well, they have begun for a lot of teams, but injuries. Brady. Hey, listen, it's nature.
Yep.
Brady's gonna get hurt sometime, somewhere before he retires, and because it just happens when you get older.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. It did to Peyton with his neck. It's eventually going to happen. Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see, with no Dez, no Romo, no Murray, how far the Cowboys can make this train go.
Yeah.
Until they just run out of game breakers and stuff.
Yeah, that's Romo's out like 8 weeks. They said.
Yeah.
So.
The problem is everybody else, and the whole division's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't catch a break.
10 points. Oof.
I feel like they couldn't buy a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like to buy a vowel. No, you cannot. Forget about it. It's just terrible. And now it looks like they might lose Kiko Alonso for the season.
No, really?
Yeah, which is making Buffalo's trade look real good. Because I think he's an injury. I think he's going to end up having a short career because of injury issues.
Mm-hmm.
They say he's got a partially torn ACL, which he blew out his ACL. I don't know if it's the same knee, but that's what put him on the sidelines for Buffalo before the last season.
Wow.
So he could be one of those guys where he never gets – when he's in there, he's great. But, I mean, his catch that first week against the Falcons was retarded, that interception, one-handed grab. Seahawks and Packers – Packers, I kind of feel like with Dallas, with not as much though, but they lost. I haven't heard anything on Eddie Lacy, but he got carted off, so that can't be good.
It's an ankle injury, sprain. They said he's probably going to play this week, but may be limited. So
I feel like
last update from this morning.
I feel like the Packers are how far their depth carries them more than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until finally you see a drop off in well, in talent.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, in
But I mean, Seattle, I
their
feel
secondary's in trouble.
yeah. Well, I feel like Seattle's just. I feel like they're going to get. I feel like they're going to be okay. I still feel like they're going to be okay, but it's just a matter of when things click for them. They kind of look dazed, don't they?
Yeah.
They kind of just look like. You mean football started?
Yeah.
Like I thought this was still preseason. They look like they're still in preseason mode.
Yep.
And Jets and the Colts.
Oof.
That was my upset pick.
Was it?
Yes, I picked the Jets.
Yeah,
I hate to say that.
Good pick.
The Colts are just sinking miserably.
Andrew Luck looked horrible.
Well, did you hear what Pagano?
I didn't hear. I read it. I read that he was bashing them, but I didn't actually see the.
They were talking about the offensive line. He said, "Well, same offensive line as last year. You should be used to it." That's kind of like, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of
okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a feeling. I got a feeling this. I got a feeling Pagano's on his way out.
Yeah, that was kind of a
I got a feeling he's gone.
Yeah.
You can't bash. You can't bash your. You can't bash the franchise.
A star like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing about a star player, but he's the franchise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Owner's going to back him, so Pagano's. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't win a game by week 5 or 6. I wouldn't be surprised there's a coaching change before then.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. 5 winners, 5 losers. Jay, you want to go with your 5 winners?
Yeah. Washington, Cincinnati, Dallas, Atlanta, and Green Bay I went with.
Ooh. Yeah,
So.
good ones.
Yeah. I thought that was a big win for Atlanta. I thought Green Bay to beat Seattle, even though it was at home. Dallas, that was a big division one for them, even though they lost to their quarterback. But Cincinnati to beat San Diego, and Washington over St. Louis. I mean,
that was a big one for them.
Surpriser.
Yeah. I went with the Patriots because, they look like the fucking Patriots. They're just, kicking ass and taking names. And, God, I hate to fucking say that, but they do. Jags getting that win over Miami. I mean, that could be that could be what they needed.
Yeah, definitely.
In this league, one game could get you started.
Yep.
Broncos, because they probably didn't have a good feeling. Nobody had a good feeling about the Broncos going into that game against the Chiefs with what they looked like the first week.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're a winner for escaping this
definitely.
game and 2-0. I mean, hey,
Yep.
I picked the Cowboys, probably the same thing you did, and now outgunned everywhere on that team. So survival again with the Cowboys and the Cardinals, just because they're humming. They're just they look in mid-season form already.
Yeah.
I'll go with my 5 losers first. Bills. Big opportunity missed. I think that's all that needs to be said there. Again, Miami should have won. They should have won. If you take what everybody says about their defense and Tannehill coming in his own and all that stuff being legit, they should have handled the Jaguars. Even if the Jaguars are coming up, should have been at least a 10-point win and not a loss.
Yeah.
Seahawks because they're 0-2.
Yep.
Eagles because they're 0-2.
Yeah.
And Rams, again, same as the Dolphins, missed opportunity. What happened?
Yeah.
A team, an organization in just dumpster fire mode, and you can't put a beating on them.
Yeah.
You're 5?
I actually have the Rams on there for that same reason. The Giants for blowing it. Kansas City for losing at home. I mean, I just expected more out of them. And Seattle for the same reasons you talked about. And actually, I threw Baltimore on there for losing to Oakland because I thought they should have been able to win that. And especially they planned on it, staying out there all week after their last West Coast games.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, they're just looking. Yeah,
That was
they're just
surprised
looking
to me,
very
so.
old and slow.
Yeah.
Just very old and slow, and
Yep.
you can't coach up old and slow.
No.
That's the one thing
Yeah.
you cannot coach.
No.
Is anything out of that. My surprises. You know what? It was hard for me this week because I was like, my surprise.
There was a lot of surprises.
But I didn't think there was after week one. I didn't find. I guess I'm looking at it this way. My surprise in a positive manner. I found a lot of surprise and disappointment manner, but that would be under disappointments, which is next. So I kept going like, oh, I'm surprised about this, and I go look and go, no, that's really a disappointment, Bob. That's not a surprise. My surprise is that the Packers and Cowboys just keep on going, dropping people. Dropping injury-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like every week they get hit. Obviously, the Packers aren't getting as... I mean, it's like with the Cowboys, you feel like there's a sharpshooter somewhere. They're top guys. Dez, then Romo, and not having Murray, and so my surprise is that the Cowboys and Packers are still going. Obviously, with the Cowboys, let's see next week.
Yeah.
Without Romo, a whole game. So, your surprise?
Mine was the Jets, actually. I think changing it up. That was kind of. I know you had them last week, but I guess on the same token, that could be my disappointment with Indy too. But I'll go with the Jets as my surprise.
Yeah,
I didn't think they had that in them. But
to be honest with you, it didn't surprise me because. The Jets are built a lot like the Bills in a way. They got the running game. All they need to do is make a couple of big plays, and they got a good defense.
Yeah.
A real high pressure defense with that defensive line, and the defensive backs is kryptonite for the Colts right now. So, although I thought the Colts defense played a lot better than Week 1. I thought they played a lot better than Week 1. But they need the offense to really pull a lot of weight, and that's not.
Yeah.
Your disappointment? You said the Colts. You're going with the Colts?
I guess I'm going to throw that in there. Same on the other side.
Yeah. My disappointment. I kind of did a dual thing. Miami and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look back and see these two games and go,
"Yeah,
we should have won them."
Yeah.
And those are the ones that always hurt you when you just get left outside of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's the wrap up of week 2.
Yep.
Boom. Done. And now we will get on to week 3 picks.
How'd you do actually as pick
Oh,
wise?
that's right. I didn't. You know what? Let me take a second here. I'll count them up here.
I had 5 wins.
Oh yeah, my wins were not great.
Bad week.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. I had 9 wins.
Wow, nice. You're on. I think you'll be on top now. That'll put you up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For next week, we'll actually do some math before we go on. Before we start recording.
Yeah.
I knew I forgot something. Yeah, that's 9 and what? How many games were there? So what does that mean?
9.
What was it? How many did I lose? Math is not my strong suit. Because I don't know how many games there were.
16.
16. So that means what? I went 9 and
7.
7. That's what I thought. I went 9 and 7. What did I do the first week? I went 10 and 6, 9 and 7. I feel 9 and 7 for last week was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What bailed me out was knowing that my team was not going to win, the Bills, and my upset pick paid off with the Jets.
Yes,
those were the two that got me. That got me over the hump. But yeah, there was this. When I was counting them up before, I was like, "Oh, I picked the Ravens. Oh, I picked the Dolphins. Oh, I picked the Eagles. Ah, shit!" And it was like one after another.
I went 12 and 4 week 1 and 5 and 11 week 2. So bad week.
Well, Jay is now like many teams, like the Rams. We don't know what we have.
Yeah.
All right, so week 3 picks. We didn't get any picks from Tom in Indiana this week.
No.
John said he was under the weather, so maybe that was the reason why.
Okay.
But Tom, if you're listening,
send them in.
Send them in. Send them in.
Or anybody else.
Yes, or anybody else for that matter.
How do they send them in, Bob?
Thank you, Jay. Jay, you're doing better at this than I am today. They can send it in by getting a hold of us at our email, which would be Bay. Where is it? There it is. Wow, I'm doing way too much today. I have band practice later. I had to go do a whole bunch of stuff this morning. I feel like I haven't had time to take a breath. Would be Bob and Jay's Pass Rush at gmail.com. Or you can always follow us or even send us a Twitter, any Twitter, a tweet or a direct tweet or a message or whatever on Twitter at Pass Rush Podcast on Twitter. And you can find us every Wednesday and wherever you find Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. So if you're looking for us on iTunes, on Buzzsprout.com, on YouTube, type in Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour, and our episodes are right there for Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast. Wow, yes. Yeah, I totally forgot that. I did do it in the podcast with John yesterday, so I got that. I did remember it then. That wasn't too hard. John was over there, saying something. Week 3 picks. Yep. Did you want to start out, Jay? Washington and the Giants. This was a hard one.
Yeah, it was actually after the way Washington played. And I got to think that the Giants are going to bounce back at home for this. So I'm going to go with New York.
I'm with you. I went with the Giants. I think so, too. You got to hope. I don't know.
Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're both taking that as a loss, though. But,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Falcons, Cowboys.
Even though it's at Dallas, I went with Atlanta here.
You know what? Me too. I just can't believe Brendan Whedon, no Des Bryant, no DeMarco Murray, that they're going to get the job done week in and week out.
Yeah, that would be a huge surprise. That'll be on my surprises if they can pull that one out.
They need to show me that they can before I'll pick them again, before Romo or Dez gets back.
Yep.
And like I said, I don't think Romo might come back and be more closer to 100%, but I don't think Dez is going to be 100% even close this year.
Yeah.
Even if he does come back in so many weeks. That's a broken bone in the foot. You just don't get over. You're not right until maybe the next season.
Yeah.
So I think he's. I think it's Romo they need to get back.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be put on him, unfortunately. And the Falcons are, they've shown they're squeaking out wins, but they're winning.
Yep.
Saints and Panthers. I can't pick the Saints for anything anymore.
No, I went with Carolina there myself.
0-2 against 2-0.
Yeah.
Not a difficulty there.
At Carolina too. So
yeah,
not that New Orleans has been really winning at home anyway. So.
Well, they got a streak now.
Yeah. I know.
Was it 6 games?
I think so.
Oh,
something like that.
6-game home losing streak. Ouch. Yeah. My upset pick: Eagles Jets. I'm going with the Eagles.
I took the Eagles also there. So.
Ooh.
Yep. They Philadelphia's got to get something going.
Yeah, you feel like they're right there.
Yeah.
They just need the ball to bounce their way.
I think they gotta get going. So
yeah,
I think that's gonna be a big game for them. And
you feel like I feel like they're this close, but I could be way off in saying that Chip Kelly, all these crazy things he did in the offseason might have just created a dumpster fire. So
maybe
I don't know yet. I can't tell. Can't tell with this
I
number
don't believe
games.
in the Jets yet. So.
Oh, well, if Ryan Fitzpatrick will go sideways eventually.
Yeah.
He will go sideways eventually. Brendan Marshall will start blaming his quarterback at some point. And, I mean, that's the usual what happens there. The Bucks and Texans.
Oh, yeah. This was tough. I gave Houston the nod here just because they're at home, but
Me too. What?
I don't know. I'm not real confident.
You don't know what the Bucks have.
Yeah. Right.
How do you lose a defense where you have Javon Clowney, Vince Wilfork, and friggin' J.J. Watt on the defensive line, and you still cannot win?
Yeah.
What are they doing down there?
I don't know.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yep.
But I took the Texans because because I just don't know what the Bucks are, and the Texans are at home.
Yeah.
If the Bucks were at home, I'd probably be switching.
Yeah, I probably would be too.
Although I did that last week, and a couple of the home teams bit it and let me down. Chargers, Vikings.
Where am I? This is kind of my upset, I think, for the week.
Yeah.
I took San Diego here. I gotta think they're gonna bounce back against Minnesota. But I went with San Diego. I think I'll go with my upset there.
But you're upset?
Yeah, I think so.
I went with the Vikings
Mm-hmm.
at home.
Yeah, no,
Is this? No. Oh no, though last week was their home opener. There was their home openers. Okay, so I just don't. I think I liked that they just went for a straight dose of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah,
and I think regardless, I don't think San Diego's defense has the ability to put 8 in the box, stop Adrian Peterson cold, and not let Bridgewater, rack up some yards and points.
Yeah,
I don't think their defense has the ability to hold down. They're going to lose. I feel like they're going to lose on one front or the other. They're going to either lose from Bridgewater or AP. I mean, we've seen him get stacked 8 in the box, and they still don't stop that guy. Yeah. And I think the Vikings they learned their lesson after week 1. Give it to AP.
Mm-hmm.
Just feed it to him. Feed him the ball until he drops. So I like the Vikings in that. Yeah, we're both taking the Steelers. No question asked there.
Oh, yeah. It's St. Louis. Yep.
Yeah, the Rams. If the Rams had won last week, maybe I'd probably still be taking the Steelers.
Yeah.
But at least that would have made me pause and think about it for one of my last picks of the day to pick. But Steelers, the Rams are too. They've showed up and down, and I don't like that. Do we even need to do Jaguars and Patriots?
That was almost going to be my upset because I feel like this could be a letdown game for them, for New England. But I almost went with Jacksonville there, but
that would be a good one
I went with New England. I don't count the Jaguars out there, but I think it might. They could be a sneak up on them.
If it was in Jacksonville, I would say differently. But at Gillette.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it could be a letdown. New England had 2 big games there. They had a big road win last week. I just think it could be.
It would be good. That would be nice.
So I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they might scare them. So I went with New England, but I
don't need the Jacksonville to get better before we got to go play them in New England. This is not good. We both went Patriots.
Yeah.
Bengals, Ravens. Bengals.
I went with the Ravens there.
Did you?
Yep. I'm gonna after that letdown last week. I'm gonna go with Baltimore at home in Baltimore.
You feel like they're gonna bounce back at some point?
Yep, I think so. So
I think it's Joe Flacco and the rest of the old guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see. I don't see it happening. I think the Ravens are in for a really bad, disappointing year. But that happens with a lot of teams. I mean, even the Steelers, you can remember going, you're keeping that level of excellence, and then all of a sudden that one season where you went, what happened, and then they're back up again and trucking along. And even with the Patriots, even kind of had a more downer season. But I think this is just going to be a terrible season for the Ravens, and they're going to need to retool a little bit and get younger. I think that's their key. Younger and faster. Raiders, Browns. Well, here's just an interesting one.
I want Cleveland there. After what they showed me last week, I'm hoping that they can start pulling some stuff together. Cleveland.
I went Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Johnny Football. Sorry. He's got to show me more before I pick the Browns.
All right.
He's got to show me he's more than one game. He's now gone from he showed me one play, big play in a game, now and up to one good game. Let's see if he can make that on a roll. I'm not willing to go there. And the Raiders, I'm conflicted because I don't know if they're week 1 or week 2.
Mhm.
I'm not sure yet, but
Yeah. If it was at Oakland, I might have been changed, but at Cleveland, I think.
I just don't have much faith in Johnny Football. I think here yet. Anyway, he's got to show me something. Colts Titans. I'm picking the Colts.
Yep, I took the Colts there.
They absolutely own their division.
Yeah.
That's the only place where they do own everything. They've owned that division no matter what. And I don't think it gets any I don't think that gets any different. I think that's where you see the Colts. It might not be a fancy clean win, but they'll get the win.
Yeah. Yep.
That's for sure. 49ers Cardinals.
Arizona there.
Yep. Cardinals. Without a doubt there. Enough said.
Yep.
Bears, Seahawks. Seahawks get their first win.
Yep. I agree there. Yep.
Yeah. They're
with no Cutler probably and
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, nothing would
Seattle
surprise
at
me in
home.
this league that who's the McCown is the Bears
don't even
backup.
know.
He comes out and plays lights out.
Yeah.
Seahawks have a nightmare.
Seattle needs something.
Yeah. This one's hard for me because I hate picking my own team, Bills and the Dolphins. But I'm gonna pick my Bills.
Yep, I went with their Bills.
I think they're gonna. I think Miami has more problems, and I think Buffalo is just more that they just were out of control.
Yeah,
and couldn't rein it in.
They're gonna be a little angry after last week. So.
Yeah, very angry. They're gonna be very angry and wanting to prove something.
Yes.
I could say the same thing for Miami too, but I don't like Philman as a head coach. I think Miami's just going to waste in mediocrity until they get a real coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said that on our first podcast. Yeah. I don't like him as a head coach.
Yep.
I think he loses the locker room real fast, and already you got that. Sue went with the headlines there that he ignored play calls and everything. It's hard. I feel like it's the whole offensive line thing from last year starting. Mm-hmm. Not the exact same thing, but the whole chaos of inner turmoil, which I don't think he has any control over.
Yep.
He might have been a good coordinator, but he doesn't have the head coach thing down. Broncos and Lions.
Denver there.
Yeah, I went Denver too. Lions feel like a good team to pick on to get healthy and with a win.
And especially if Stafford's going to be out. That's not looking good. So
yeah. Final game Monday night: Chiefs-Packers.
I'm going Green Bay all the way there.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Where I might have a problem eventually is, and I don't think they play this year, so they can't play to the Super Bowl, which is good. If the Packers and Patriots did play this year, those are my AFC, NFC pick 'em every week, no matter what, until they buck me teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Packers, I'm not going to let off until, like I said, until I see something that I don't like.
Yeah.
But I would not be shocked if the Chiefs did squeak out a win, because they need to show something at some point, just like I think the Bills have to also. They have to show they both have so much talent. They both have to show that they're ready to go and take the next step. So, this might be their game to do so. I'm not saying it is. I still like the Packers. I think the Packers are going to win, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Like I said, how many hits can the Packers take, injury-wise? And they seem to do this every year. They take a bunch of hits, and God forbid Aaron Rodgers goes down.
Yeah.
They in trouble. Mm-hmm. But that's our picks for week 3.
Yep.
And again, you can get a hold of us at Bob and Jay's passrush@gmail.com or on Twitter at Pass Rush Podcast. And, anywhere Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour is, you can get a hold of us there also. And that's where you can see the episodes of Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast. So I guess that's it. We'll see you week 4.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From Homebrew Studios, this has been Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast, brought to you by Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.